Everything has felt super overwhelming lately, and we're constantly being inundated with new news, new trends, things we have to keep up with online, and honestly, it's exhausting. Something that I really want to commit to that I've been thinking a lot about lately is trying to set up things in my environment that can provide me with some source of analog dopamine. I'll be the first to admit that I spend way too much time scrolling through social media, checking on the news, and clicking on sensational clickbaity headlines. So in a typical day, I probably spend at least 8 hours in front of the screen for work, and that's not including all the times I pick up my phone to mindlessly scroll because I'm bored or I want a distraction. And then multiple days a week, I also have classes in the evening that are all online. So if I'm being honest with myself, I probably spend like 60 hours a week staring at screens. Even when I'm at the gym, there's TVs everywhere, so it feels like oftentimes I just can't get the fuck away from the screens. Over the last couple of years, something that I've noticed that I didn't really realize was a direct consequence from all of the digital consumption is that I start to feel physically sick. Like, I eat really healthy and I go to the gym regularly, I take good care of myself, but the screen time makes me feel physically ill. I notice that on the days where I get outside and I'm able to detach from my phone, I feel so much better. And it's not just physically, it's also mentally. I feel more clarity, more creativity, and I don't feel like I'm comparing myself to others or like I'm just sort of stuck in a void of depressing shit. And I'm not suggesting that you tune out, because that's certainly not a solution either. I think most of us, if there's one thing we could pinpoint that we want more of, it's time. So why are we wasting our time on screens when we could invite more inspiration and curiosity and just self-reflection time to really connect to the things we actually like? If you spend your whole day staring at a screen and working on a computer and checking your phone, and then you finally get to log off and the first thing you want to do is like watch YouTube videos or scroll more on your phone. No judgment, I do it all the time, but I think it's important to replace those habits sometimes with these slower activities. Something that helps me stay present and connect more to the moment that I'm existing in is appreciating design aesthetics and really kind of mulling over why I'm drawn to the visual design of just the things in my surroundings. Of course, there's tons of blogs and Instagram pages and Pinterest boards and all kinds of things that you could scroll through for design inspiration online. But I like the idea of having something accessible to me at any given time in my home that doesn't require a screen, but still sparks some sort of creativity. Flipping through a book is a more tactile experience. You know, you're more grounded in your body. You're experiencing something that's not moving at this like hyper speed. I'm able to actually like feel myself in the moment, asking questions like, why do I really love this typeface? Or what is it about this design layout that speaks to me in this moment? What is it about this thing that I don't like? And what does that mean about me as a creative person? By asking these questions rather than just following trends and scrolling mindlessly through a sea of shit, you're able to kind of get an insight about yourself and uncover something that's just like more interesting and meaningful than, I don't know, what the Instagram algorithm wants you to think is cool or relevant. All of these online platforms are just delivering something to your eyeballs because of an algorithm that's been carefully calculated. And while I think that that's cool in one way, I guess, for like creators online who are trying to reach a wider audience, it's also making us lazier. It's not giving us the opportunity or the capacity to reflect on what our taste actually is. And I think if you're a creative person, you need to interact with things you don't like in order to refine a style that truly reflects who you are. And these algorithms oftentimes are just catering to the things it already knows we will like. It's sort of like if we just went out in the world and every single person you ever met was like totally likable and amicable, you wouldn't really learn much about yourself, what sorts of personalities you do or don't get along with, and as a result of that, you'd never learn what you need to work on as an individual. I'm not trying to shame anyone who's on their phone often because I'm right there with you, but I think that by removing yourself from the algorithm in some ways in your life, in your day-to-day, you might gain insights that you just can't get by scrolling on a screen. Okay, so with all of that said, I want to share 3 books that I brought into my space to welcome some more analog dopamine into my day-to-day life. The first book is called Packaging Design for Everyday Objects. It's part of a series, and this one is all about chocolate packaging. It's a really beautiful book published by Victionary. All of the books that I'm going to share with you are from Victionary, and I'm obsessed. The thing I really love about this book is that it captures such a wide variety of approaches to something as seemingly mundane as chocolate packaging. These are a couple of my favorite pages. This chocolate is a dark green tea matcha chocolate and has this really interesting maze pattern. And then these are super sick philosophy orientation chocolate. I tend to not like the super colorful packaging, so I guess my soul is dark. These are chocolate pencils. So yeah, that's my book. Hanzi, Kanji, Hanja. The next book I want to share with you is called Hanzi, Kanji, Hanja. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Graphic design with contemporary Chinese typography. The last pages, like the final section, uses a different type of paper, and it feels a lot like newspaper paper. Newspaper paper. It's a good book. So the last book I want to share with you is all about serifs in use. From page to page, it introduces a different typeface, and then you can see examples of all of the different variations of the fonts. It's really beautiful, and I've been keeping this one out lately just as inspiration if I'm feeling down or bored or uninspired and I need to get away from the screens. To be honest, I just wanted to highlight these really beautiful books in a video, so I hope you enjoyed the flip through and just seeing some inspiring books. Really the takeaway though for this video is that I want to invite you to find sources of analog dopamine. It is going to be so much better for your mental health and your physical health, and I think we all just need to get off the screens a little bit more often. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and leave a comment below. Bye. 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 Bye.